Extra. This shit is hard.
Hello, everyone, and welcome back to Talks with the Lady. I am your host, Lashana Lady Brown, and it is a pleasure to be here again tonight. I do want to first and foremost thank God for being here and allowing me to see it through this week. God is still good, and He's going to continue to press on. All right. I have our topic for tonight is He Say, She Say. Not a bad topic, but look deep. Don't look so deep into it. We are talking about going to the source. Okay, so many times we hear so many different things. We don't know if it's true or not, but the primary focus is just going to the source. I have a special guest with me tonight, Mr. Mark Juice. He is going to come on and he's going to share his viewpoint on He Say, She Say, and what he believes we should do, not do, some strategic ways to get through it. He say, she say it's gossip. Pretty much what it is. It's gossip and it's drama. Okay, so we're going to go ahead and bring him to the stage and let's introduce Mr. Mark Juice. All right.
What's good,
Hello.
everybody?
How
Hey,
are
how's it going?
you? It's a
I'm doing
pleasure
great.
to talk to you again and to see you again. All right, how's your day?
I gotta echo your sentiments, man. God is good.
I know, right? He is so good.
How
All
you
right.
doing today?
I am blessed. It's been a very long week, but I'm looking forward to my weekend.
Yeah,
I'm
me
getting
too.
excited. Yes, get some rest, but I'm going to relax. I am going to do something this weekend and I'm very excited about it. So, but before we do, we are going to get to these juicy details about he say, she say. What comes to mind, Mark, when we talk about he say, she say? What's the first thing that comes to your mind?
Um, I mean, the biggest thing when you think about he say, she say is like you say, gossip. And a
Mm-hmm.
lot of times we get lost in the fact that I think the biggest thing is we lazy.
Mm-hmm.
You know, a lot of times we find comfort in just listening to what the next person is saying. You know, instead of it's quick. You know, it's an easy way. You might trust the person that's saying it. You might feel like you Googled the information or whatever the case may be. But a lot of the times
Right.
you don't even you don't even use your own head when you're thinking about it. You know, you don't use your own mindset. You don't use your own critical thinking. You don't go looking for
Right.
information to see if that information is right. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
So I think, and then social media too got a big influence on that. You know, a lot of times we're wired to think about, agree with the masses. You know, a
Right.
lot of times we kind of scared, maybe people might not like what we say,
Right.
and the biggest thing though, you got to be authentic and genuine. You got to always
Right.
trust yourself, and it's okay to listen and get insight from other people, but at the same time, don't lose thought of how you actually feel about the situation or whatever it is it may be, or that person.
Right. Have you ever thought that maybe a lot of he say she say that has come to you maybe to like it be used as like a cautionary, like a precaution or a warning? Can we
I
say
mean, yeah, you can, but at the same time, you got to think about it. You can meet, and I'm gonna just use people as an example.
that? Mm-hmm.
You can meet you can meet five people from different backgrounds,
Right.
and all of those five people might have a different experience.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? So a lot of times you kind of shy away or you get scared about what somebody else has said versus you having your own experience. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
Or you having your own, you got to experience it for yourself. Sometimes you have to, again, like with people, you can meet five different people and you have five different people who experience five different things.
Mm-hmm.
So does that make you wrong or does that make you bad? No.
Well, I think the biggest concept of he say she say is by the time it gets back to you or the next person or whoever, it's like five different stories or it's five different opinions. It's not really
Like the
factual.
telephone game.
Right. So I think that's the way I look at it. And the reason, again, a lot of these topics that I've come on here with are experiences for me. I have dealt with a lot of that. But my thing is, I've always been, why not come to me? Why
Right.
go
Right.
direct? And I don't know if it has anything to do with how a person will be receptive to you coming to them. I'm not sure if that has a lot to do. I think it may have somewhat, I guess, when it comes to me, because I don't do really good with, when people come to me and ask me questions, because for one, I initially respond, it's none of your business.
A lot of people don't like confrontation, so
Right.
they avoid those conversations.
Right. So I think that also has a lot to do with it. I have a few considerations that may be valid, but we're going to talk about them tonight. And one of them being people's motive. What is their motive for he say, she say? Like, is it to destroy someone else's character? Is it to make themselves feel more superior in a situation? What are your thoughts on that?
I mean, a lot of times you might have an ulterior motive. I mean, I'll be an example of that. There's a lot of times when I was young,
Mhm.
when I liked the girl, I use that as an example, and maybe my friend liked her too, and I
Mhm.
may have said something like, "Nah, whatever," just to
Right.
kind of throw it off a little bit.
Right.
So I think or sometimes, like I said, that person may have just had their own personal experience,
Mhm.
and they're relating their experience to them.
Mhm.
So I mean, it's a lot of different reasons, that a person would could do that, and it's not all negative. A person could truly feel like they're actually trying to help somebody,
Mhm.
but again, that other person hadn't had that same experience. But I don't think it applies in every situation, but I think at the same time we all have to use our own discretion. Don't solely rely on somebody else's opinion 100%.
Right. Okay. And yeah, I always looked at it like maybe they're just covering up something of their own. And a lot of he say she say actually begins with the person, because like I said, by the time it gets to you, then it's a whole new version. So now
Yeah.
we got so many different versions, and all of it is considered to be gossip. So and then another important consideration that I thought about, and I said, maybe it's the quality of it, because some of it is not really bad, but I guess when you know the actual facts of it, that is what
Mm,
makes it more credible. I guess, like the quality of the gossip, who it's coming from, is it
yeah.
consistent? Is it always this person? Do they hold any value to the gossip that they may carry? Um, I'm not sure. it's a lot of times when I know that people are like really big on gossip, they tend to say, I don't remember,
Yeah.
or I think so. Like, again, that is a hint. You don't get paid to think, you know?
But people like to be messy though. You
Yeah,
know, people like to be messy.
they do like to be messy. But there is, I think, in society today that a lot of us can't grow past that level of he say she say, because we're too busy wanting to continue to retain it. Does that
Mm.
make sense?
Yeah.
When you actually move forward and it's like, okay, I don't, whatever comes to me or whatever was said or so on and so forth, like, I just don't care. I think that's when we can begin to find peace and understand that, hey, this is not really what my life is really tuned into. This is not what I want it to be about. Um, well, another thing is reliability. Um, are they a reliable source? I'm not sure if you've dealt with people like that. I have dealt with some people that it just doesn't matter what they say. Whatever came out their mouth, it just wasn't. It held no value whatsoever.
Yeah.
So, how do you handle individuals that are not like a reliable source without hurting their feelings, or going overboard with, uh don't come to me and talk, because again, some people, their feelings are hurt but they can't help it. How do you handle people that are not reliable? Do you actually have a conversation with them? Do you break it down on how the negative thoughts are interfering with their personal life? I'm not sure, like, how do you really handle that? I know with me, when someone comes to me with something, first thing, my first response is, how did you sit and engage in a conversation? If it was about me, how did you sit and engage in a conversation about me, but you're coming back telling me what, someone else said? How do you deal with people like that?
Well, first of all, when you talk about reliability, I think a lot of times we don't even think about reliability in itself. We
Hmm.
probably we trust the person who's telling us most of the time. That's whoever it's coming from, whether it's a friend, a family member. A lot of times you might trust them and you just go with the information.
Hmm.
But as far as how I handle it, I mean, a lot of times when something like that come out, I actually have a saying, man, positive vibes only. So a lot of times I don't even allow negativity to even come to me. I if something is brought to my attention, I don't care how reliable it is.
Hmm.
I kind of knock it down, because I try not to invite negativity into my life, especially the people that are close to me. You
Hmm.
know what I'm saying? Those are the ones that I truly care about how they feel or whatever the case may be. So it's a lot of times I don't be trying to prove no points or nothing like that when it come with that. So
So we can say
I
that
just
you have that stamped, like, no
yeah,
trauma, or
yeah,
drama
yeah,
free
for sure.
zone. I,
Yeah,
I
yeah,
can
that's a
see
fact.
that, because I see
That's a
you.
fact.
You seem very peaceful. Listen, I can normally tell even by conversation, body language with a person, their reliability, who they are, and what they stand for. I get that from you. I know from when we had our interview, the meet and greet interview. I seen a lot of, okay, yes, he has to have a lot of feedback to give to the people, because you seem so peaceful, and and that is exactly what I really wanted when I had this interview. I wanted someone who was more at peace, someone who was more stable and settled, and I can appreciate that. And I'm gaining a lot too, because I'm not saying like I have not experienced that, but I have experienced being on both ends of it.
Yeah,
Um, at the end of the day, like me being on the end where I'm going to the person, I just kind of felt bad. Like, did I really have to say something? Or I don't really know that
exactly,
true, So it
exactly,
really,
right.
it took a lot out of me. Like, I just kept, like, it's kind of like your conscience condemns you in some type of way. But
Hmm.
I had to, like, really look or seek within myself. I had to, like, find some type of, okay, that is not bringing anything to me. This is what is going to help me rise over that, just by not giving it, feeding it any attention, feeding it,
Right.
giving it water, food, whatever. I just don't want to hear it. But I do believe that a lot of times some of the stuff that comes to us, as I stated before, is, I don't know if you've heard of like warning before destruction.
Yeah, for
Yeah.
sure. Yeah.
So, and I think that a lot of it is spiritual. When things come to you, I do believe that there is a spiritual basis behind it. I've just, most of the time it's bad. It's gossipy, it's drama. But I also have to, when I hear someone come to me about something, what I do, because of my spirituality, I have to pray about it. You
Yeah.
know,
Facts.
because it depends on what type of information is coming to me. So I'm not sure. I guess, like you say, you handle it where you just like a drama free zone, like don't come and bring it to me. I can definitely understand that. I
Yeah.
think that a lot of he say, she say has caused so much conflict among individuals. I mean, that there are great people out here, but a lot of gossip is what I think has torn friendships, relationships, by what someone else said or whatever they did, or so on and so forth. I think that has had a big, major impact on a lot of relationships, social wise, relationship wise, friend, whatever. So, yeah, I definitely believe in the reliable, understanding the reliability of the person that it comes from.
And
It's
something I want to add though, real quick, if you don't mind.
mhm,
Something to what you were saying earlier. I would be if I it's like with social media. Like it took time for me to get to this point where I could really like, you know, try to be positive because I'm human. So I still have my days where I'm obviously, I have my days. So,
right,
but you'll be if you took every negative thing that came your way, you'll be defending yourself forever. You know what I'm saying? Like,
right,
sorry about that. But you'll be defending yourself forever. It's like with social media, you can never win. So
mm-mm,
you're gonna always have somebody else, no matter what side you're on, pointing back at you that don't believe you or feel whatever type of way.
right. I've seen people that I've experienced, even like you say with the social media, where I see things on social media and I tend to go and drift, like, for example, if you want to, they have the little post that they make with the, if you want to get out of bankruptcy, if you want to do this. So I mean, all these different posts,
Yeah,
and I'm
yeah,
immediately drawn to it because that's something that I want to work on, like building credit, so on and so forth. So I'm immediately drawn to it. Again, it's a he say, she say. But then when I get into it, it's just like, okay, now they want this. It's like adding more things on,
hmm,
and it just takes a lot of energy, um, to carry on through those tasks. So, and even like, I'm not sure if you've heard about the story with TD Jakes, about the P Diddy.
enlighten me.
Okay, something about P Diddy, TD Jakes and P Diddy had something going on. I don't know, something to that
I,
extent.
I may have seen I may have seen something and I probably just didn't click on it or read it. But I
Right,
feel like I did. I heard something about that. I just
right,
don't know exactly what it was.
right. So I asked that to say this, like a lot of time it changes people perception when they bring things to you, or when we hear things, it changes the person's perception. Have you ever experienced that where someone has brought something to you, and what, it doesn't matter what it was, it can be whatever, and it kind of, you didn't listen to it, but it gave you a raised eyebrow, like, hmm, could it be?
Um yeah, actually it was I was actually dating a girl in high school
Hmm.
and social media was just kind of like really, this was like 2010, 2011. So social media was kind of just like, really being out there like that. It wasn't really big as it is now.
Right.
But um the person who I was dating at the time, a lot of people would tell me, like, man, you see what she be doing on social media, you see what she be posting, this and that, and you think she doing this or that, and me, being in love is like, nah, I don't think so. But then in the back of my head, you be thinking like, dang, could that be true? So like, I've had those thoughts before, but
But did it change your perception with her? Like,
I
did it
mean,
change the way that you felt because of, again, what somebody else said? Because let's remember now, Mark, a lot of times people come to you and tell you things because I've experienced this because of some type in that situation, some type of jealousy, or either because it's
yeah,
something that they want, you know.
yeah,
And I mean, I understand when you were saying that stuff was going on social media, but
yeah.
end of the day, why? My question is, why should it bother them? If they, you know what I'm saying?
I ain't think about it then. That's a good question. I
Yeah,
at that time, man, I ain't think about that, but it did make me change my perspective. Cause then I'm sitting there like, man, I don't like, why is you doing this and that? Like, now I'm questioning all type of stuff. You know, I was
yeah,
very insecure though, so that played a role too.
right. So, do you what you saying that you were insecure at that time during that time? So anyone could come and tell you, and I'm asking this because it's making sense. It's coming together. Insecurity adapts a lot of he say because of your
For sure.
insecurities. Like you just believe anything that comes.
Yeah, it fed it.
Yeah.
Yeah, it fed my insecurity. Yeah, for sure,
Mm,
for
interesting.
sure. Yeah,
That's interesting.
yeah,
So I think it's safe to say that strong minds have the ability to overcome he say, she say,
yeah.
what one may think of you. That's what I'm getting from it. And again, I'm learning from you. And I ask you, you're a male, so I know that I'm going to get a whole different perspective from it. Um, Males give a different perspective, just like as a female, I can have a different perspective. But I love getting it from, another sex to understand, how you would view it as men. And that's another thing. Men, I don't think that they so much entertain a lot of he say, she say. Do you believe that it's equal, or is that mainly just like a female thing?
Nah, we do,
Yeah.
we do. Yeah, yes, we do. We rely on each other to tell each other about stuff. Trust to believe that. Yeah,
Now,
and we
now,
don't check no sources.
yes. Now, let me ask you, because I know now we as women, we sit around and we talk and, oh, let me tell you about my time with the. So men do that too?
Yeah, for sure. Yeah,
Really?
yeah,
Hmm.
yeah.
Wow. I
We
mean, I
might,
get
yeah. And I ain't speaking for every dude, because some people out there that ain't like that. But I'm saying, like, yeah, we like, I know me and mines did. You know what I'm saying? So
for some
everybody I was around, you
for
know,
someone that you care about, that you have deep feelings for, is that something that you go back and discuss any issues that you may have with your mate, with your homeboys?
personal issues.
It could be, yeah, well, yeah, because you
Just
got to
issue.
think. Hmm.
I mean, yeah, we talk. You know what I'm saying? We had conversations.
Okay.
And we had conversations, but I got a real tight circle. I can count
Oh,
them on my hands.
so
So
you're comfortable with
yeah, yeah,
okay,
yeah, yeah,
yeah,
yeah, yeah, yeah. You got to have somebody to talk to. You can't be
right,
keeping stuff like that in. Like,
yeah,
if you're going through stuff and you ain't letting it out, you got to be talking to somebody.
okay. Now,
So,
I also want to talk about the behavior of an individual and their history. Now, I've ran across some people that have a very bad history of he say, she say. I know that their behavior changes. Again, I believe it has a lot to do with body movement. I also I think it has a lot to do with the guilt of one person. Because when you initiate, some people just have nothing else better to do but just to sit around and make up all types of things and to go to this one and to that one and to that one and so on and so forth.
Right.
Have you ever experienced emotional language or over exaggeration when it comes down to individuals that gossip? What are some of the things that we need to look for?
I mean, when it a person like they talk a lot, they get themselves away. So I mean, it's really, that's really self-explanatory. Anybody, you know when you see a gossip or a person that's just talking, like, because they always quick to say something, they always got somebody in their mouth, they
Mhm.
always got something to say about something. You know what I'm saying? So um I mean, anybody can peep a gossiper. So if you're entertaining it, or if you're around it, or if
Mhm.
you're engaging in it, then you're just a gossiper too. So
Right.
you can't say you're not a you can't say you're not a gossiper, but sit around it and listen to it, because you're
Mm.
still engaging in it.
Right, you're still engaging in it. So,
Right.
and I know that I've been around it, and again, I have done it as well. But again, at a certain age, it's like, okay, that is so boring. You know,
Yeah. I mean,
um,
I've done it too, for sure.
yeah. Carisha Lewis says, yes, it's good to have a venting source in someone. Now, there's a difference between venting and gossiping,
Yeah,
correct?
for sure.
Um, when we're venting, I like to look at venting as me myself, not coming to you. Like if I'm going to you and I'm like, Mark, I need to talk, and I'm venting to you. I'm telling you about a situation. I need I think it requires feedback. It has to be something that has to do with me in general,
Yeah.
and you helping guide me through a situation. I mean, I feel like that is venting. Gossiping, when first thing the when we know that someone's about to
Man,
gossip,
you heard about such and
here is,
such?
you busy right now? Are you sitting down? Oh, what like there's indicators. That is how we know that there's about to be some gossip that's going on.
Yep. Yep.
So there is a difference between venting and gossiping. So sad that people do that as a form of self-entertainment. I know, right? But they're very much entertained by that. I don't know what it is. It's just, and then it's like it's no reliability. It's no like factual basis. It holds no type of credibility. Um,
Making them try to make themselves feel good about how they feel.
right.
That maybe they going through something, and that's their way
Mhm.
of, letting it out.
Letting it
Hurt
out.
people hurt people. You know what they say.
Right. Yeah, I just believe that not only are they bored and have anything else to do, because when you are properly consumed by any type of activity or engagement, it's like you really don't have time for it.
Yeah.
Alexandria Denise says venting has to be productive and beneficial in a positive way. That's exactly what we were saying. It's
Yeah.
like if I'm coming to you and I'm talking and that's not actually really gossiping. I'm
Yeah.
talking
Exactly.
about, and I look at venting. I've given the definition, like this is what I believe, venting is. That's me coming to a person that I trust,
Mm-hmm.
and saying, oh, can you help me understand this, or what is your opinion on this, or do you think, it like those are different indicators. It ain't, but first time you hear, guess what? Oh, we already know.
Yep. There you go. It's
So
already coming.
he said, she said,
Yep.
yes. Um, let me see here. Carisha Lewis says, how do you identify if it's gossiping about someone or discussing someone? Is it if the information is true? Okay, so how do you identify if it's gossiping about someone or discussing someone?
Cause it's good. There's I'm plain and simple.
Mm-hmm.
You gossiping if it ain't got nothing to do with you.
Mm-hmm.
Period. If it ain't got nothing to do with you, why is you even bringing it up?
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Like venting is me discussing something that's going on with me, you
Mm-hmm.
know, somebody that's in my life, whatever the case may be,
Your
regardless if the
feelings.
information is true or not. I mean, if regardless if the information true or not, if it ain't got nothing to do with me or you or you know whoever it is that's what you know, then it ain't my business. It's a gossiping.
And I always like to go with the notion that, as they say, you're innocent until proven guilty. Well, it's not true until it can be proven, And again, I'm not trying to prove anything that doesn't have anything to do with me. Now, if it has something to do
Right.
with me, what I'm
Right.
saying, then, that's totally different. But yes, let's see what I
I
respectfully
agree.
I respectfully disagree on that because you could discuss some with pure intentions.
I mean, I can see the point. I mean, I don't totally disagree with that statement, but like I said, that's just me. You know, my opinion. I don't really talk about stuff that ain't my business, but I get what she's saying because, like with the Diddy situation, that ain't got nothing to do with me. But I do give my opinions on it. I talk about it. So
Mhm.
I mean, in a way, I get what she's saying. I get what she's saying.
So if someone came to you, Mark, and they're asking you for an opinion about a situation, and they're coming to you, because remember now, a lot of people they go to certain people because either they don't rely heavily on their what they would do or how they would react or how what they would say in a situation, but maybe they are coming to you because they look at you as someone with the comment with the sense that they aren't actually working with at the moment. Do you shut them down? Do you turn them away or do you guide them? Do you say, well, first of all, I don't want to hear it. I don't want, how do you do that?
Okay, can you repeat it? Because the sound went out.
Okay.
When you,
If someone comes to you and they want an opinion on how to handle
mhm,
a situation,
uh-huh.
is that considered he say, she say? And it's a situation with another person. I mean, is that considered they're coming to you and saying, hey, I need your help, I need to address this. I'm not
I've
sure how to do you consider that he say, she say, or is that venting?
I've done. I mean, I've done that before. I gave my opinion on something, but I love that though. By the way, I think it's intent. I mean, I've given my opinion on things before, but I kind of honestly stray away from it depending on what the situation is, depending
Hmm.
on what they're asking me to give my opinion on.
Right.
Because if it's work related stuff, okay, cool, cool. If it's something personal, depending on what it is, um it just depends because a lot of times I can give my what I would think about it, and let's just say that person relays that message back to that person, and they relate it completely wrong. You
Right.
know what I'm saying, or whatever the case may be. Now I'm looked at as I'm over there gossiping when I was just asking my opinion on the situation. You know what
Hmm.
I'm saying? So it just depends. I try not to do stuff like that. With giving my like personal opinions on stuff like that. But I mean, I do it. I don't want to say I always turn them around. It just depends.
Right. Right. Okay. So now, what about among friends? Let's say there's some controversy among two friends. How do you handle that?
Controversy among friends. I mean,
With the he said,
I do it
she
the
said.
same.
You
With,
got two
see,
friends.
like I said, my circle small, so we on the phone. Like we not. I'm not gonna be. I'm not. It's not no messages. Like we on the phone.
So
Like
my
all
yeah,
us.
because my point is this: when you have two friends, let's say there's two friends, and one comes to you about the other one. At what point can you not say, "Hold on, let me get this person on the phone"? I mean, do you think that that is stirring the pot? Because again, you got two friends. The only thing you're trying to do is be unbiased. You're trying to be mutual among the two. You know,
Yeah.
do you feel that would be accurate if someone comes to you? Because you got to think, A lot of friendships, again, we just spoke about this in the beginning, are destroyed because of a lot of he say, she say. Um,
Right.
I'm a firm believer in don't talk behind me, talk with me,
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
um, and come to me and I will clarify, if something was said or, so on and so forth. Or so I'm big on that, you know what I'm saying? But I'm not gonna say that I have went to a friend. Like I told you, I've been on both sides of this. I have
Mm-hmm.
went to a friend about a situation only because I knew that all of us were really, really close. But
Mm-hmm.
do you consider that gossiping?
It
Um,
depends if it's if you talking junk, like
right.
if you talking junk about this or something, like say y'all had a situation and you talking
Okay.
junk to the person instead of saying whatever it is to the person that you had the
Right.
situation with,
Okay.
yes, that's gossiping.
That is
But
gossiping.
yeah,
Okay.
that's definitely gossiping. But if
Hmm.
you just if you maybe let's say your friend is going through something, they got
Hmm.
a problem, and you're talking to your other friend, your other friend about it, like what
Hmm.
can we do to help him?
Right.
That's different.
I like how you said that, and that clarified. That was clarified for me. Hello, Bilal. Hola.
Hola.
Carisha, why is it so challenging for people to go to the source? Do they lack
Good question.
effective communication skills? I know that I do. Sometimes I do. I'm not going to say that's in every aspect. Like I do believe in going to people, but sometimes it just depends on some things are just more sensitive. You get what I'm saying? Because like I've been in a situation where I was like, I really want to know what's going on, but I know that all of us are great. So maybe I can, because some people I just feel like are a little bit more sensitive and, or when will not be up to the forefront with it. And then it's just like, and it kind of made me feel bad when I go to the other person or I went to the other person because it's like, well, why wasn't I notified? You know what I'm saying?
Mm,
Like, why didn't I know these things? And I'm supposed to be, you know, it's not for the outside circle the way that I look at it. Like if something is going on with me, I share those things with my friends. You get what I'm saying? I share them because I feel like they need to know, just like I do with my kids. I share, what's going on with me or her, so that you will be aware. I
right,
don't look
right,
at this friend as more important than this one.
right,
I don't
right.
look at it like that. So I think that's where I view it from, and I don't always look at it like gossip, but like if me and you were best friends and you, I don't know, Johnny came to talk to me, and I mean, all of us were really cool, but I'm really best friends with you. I find it to be necessary that, hey, I understand that because you got to look at it from different perspectives. Johnny may just be worried.
Yeah,
And because maybe you two aren't communicating for whatever reason, maybe they go to the next closest person. But again, that's not always gossiping. That's not he say, she say. That's out of genuine concern. But again, it's about going to the source. And I don't know
yeah.
why we all have a problem with it, but I'm guilty of it too. Like I really have a problem going to the source sometimes because
Just like the end of that statement say, man, fear of conflict. That's what I think is the
do you
biggest thing.
think lack
Fear.
lack of effective communication skills and fear the conflict will escalate? Yes.
Yeah, fear.
Yep. Most
People don't want to
definitely.
have those tough conversations.
Yes. And it is. Um. Who is
But
this?
if you friends though, man, like you
There
gotta
shouldn't be.
have those conversations. You got to sometimes, like, and it's okay. Like y'all gonna fight. It ain't gonna be perfect every day of your life. You know what I'm
Right.
saying? You're gonna have some ups and downs.
Right. Yeah. I just believe, and I do believe. What about gossiping among friends because of jealousy? Have you experienced that?
No, I've never experienced that, and I'm glad I didn't because like You know, friendship, man, is tough. Like, and I don't even really say I got them. I mean, I either got family or associates. You know, those people that's close in my life that I talk to, they family to me.
Mm-hmm.
And um, you know, I've never experienced where there was jealousy. You know, in anything like that. Mm-mm,
Well,
mm-mm.
that takes it back to what we were talking about, the hidden agendas or the motives,
Yeah,
you know.
yeah.
Um,
Or maybe I just didn't know.
right.
Because you know sometimes they throw your rock and hide your hand.
Hide your
So
hand. Mm-hmm.
and it was you know so I don't want to make it seem I just you know I just don't think it was any of that, but it could have been.
Right. Um, Carisha Lewis says, I read a book called Fierce Conversations for Work, and it's an amazing read for personal and professional.
Fierce
Yes, because,
conversation.
and I'm gonna tell you, not only does a lot of this he say she say comes from our personal lives, but a lot of it takes place in the workplace. That's
Oh
another
yeah.
thing.
Oh yeah.
But there's more extreme measures when we're talking about the workplace environment. Uh, you get written up. Allegations are very serious. So I've been in workplaces where, I mean, there were allegations, and I'm like, oh, I most recently, about 2 years ago, someone made an allegation, and it's like they know exactly where the cameras were, and they was like, oh, she closed the door on my hand. I'm like, well, first of all, how would I close the door when you gotta push it open to go out? And by the time you went out, your whole body is out. It just didn't make sense to me. But that was an allegation, Yeah, it wasn't like I pull the door and just like do that. No, you have to go through it, and then it shuts behind you. So I'm like, I really want to file a report, because it's stuff like that that makes people look, bad, makes it seem like they have no professionalism. So that is one of the most extreme places to experience he say she say. um has anyone successfully redirected a gossiper in mid conversation and changed their viewpoint? If so, what tactics did you use? I've experienced that.
Yeah. I
I
had
definitely
to.
have experienced that most recently. um and it wasn't really redirected. It was kind of like, would you be offended? I'm like, no, because why would I be offended when I just wanted an opinion? Like, how do I handle this? So why would you get offended by, if someone says, well, I don't want to talk about, or I don't want to discuss, but what gets me with that is because they can come back and talk to you about the things that they want to talk to you about, the he say she say
Mm-hmm.
type stuff. But when it comes to certain situations or certain people, they won't do it. You get what
Yeah.
I'm saying? And I've
Mm-hmm.
also experienced where they believe in that and they'll cut it short, and little did they know, I know that they were going back saying some things about me. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So it was just like, oh, okay, so you're protecting, certain individuals, but that's where I began to notice that that's not really considered to be a friend. If so, what tactics did you use? Yes, we did. Daphina Williams says gossiping among friends because of jealousy. Wow. Can you
Yeah.
elaborate on that, Daphina?
Yeah.
Gossiping among friends because of jealousy.
It sounds like she just as shocked as me.
Yes. I'm just okay.
uh,
Gossiping
that's
among
crazy.
friends because of jealousy. I just asked you that, didn't I?
Yeah, we just talked about that a little bit. That's why I think that's why she's saying wow, like that would be crazy.
Oh, yeah, 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 yeah. Yeah, that is
Mm-hmm.
crazy. But you know what? It does happen. It
Mm-hmm.
happens. And I have to say, Mark, because I've been on both ends of this. I've been on both ends. Like, I think the younger me, not the 40-something-year-old me, but the younger me used to like really entertain in a lot of, the gossip. But when I found that it was so draining and it was so oh, okay, what's new? This is not putting any money in my pocket. Okay, I can't just sit around and just wait to hear something new. I can't just go back. Like it just became, it's like now my mind is fixated on, really what I need to do. It's fixated more on what's more important to me right now. And I don't want to say this in a bad way or a mean way, but other people's problems and their issues and so on and so forth no longer concern me. You get what I'm saying? Like I had
Yeah.
to learn a long time ago, because when I had issues, and I still have things that I go through or whatever, they're not letting it affect them. So I just learned that, okay, I stay out the way. I don't have to gossip or say anything or whatever problems that they may have. I can pray for them. You know what I'm saying? I'm not saying that I don't give a damn, but it's just like in my mind, I'm just like, oh man, I'm sorry to hear that. And then
Yeah.
I just go move forward or whatever. But yeah, I definitely had to experience that. It's just like you outgrow certain things though.
Exactly.
Carisha Lewis, do you all think constantly being the center of gossip can affect someone's mental state?
Yeah. Of course. Of course. Yeah. I mean, uh, like I had somebody that I worked with, and um, they were they always wanted to do things the right way, around the job. Always trying to figure out why stuff was the way it is, why isn't it structured better, organized better. And people, would talk, and like, why are you trying to change everything, stuff the way it is. Um and it got so bad to the point where, because she would talk to me about it, and that kind of goes back to the previous thing, when I would let her know, like, listen, you can't control that. You can't let that bother you. You know what I'm saying? Like, you can't control that. You can't please everybody. You know what I'm saying? And once you realize that, it's gonna always be somebody that's against you.
Yeah.
Like, you'll be able to, what I'm saying, you'll be better. But it got to a point where she left, couldn't take
Yeah.
it no more.
I walked off about 3 jobs, Mark. I ain't even, let me tell you something. I don't work well under pressure like that. It's because when I feel like when I come to work, and because they know, okay, this is a hard work or whatever, like they can sit back and I'm always the one to jump up and, oh, I got it, so on and so forth. But after so long, again, it's just one of them things you just get tired of. And I don't walked off about 3 jobs, Lord have mercy. In the last one I
Yeah.
walked off, they asked me to come back. I came back for an hour and I left again. You know what I'm saying? So I don't work, I just don't. And I was like, oh well, because I'm a firm believer that, I'm gonna be okay. Alexandra Denise says it takes too much time and energy to constantly be in somebody else's business, especially when we have our own lives and issues that we're dealing with personally. Yes, we just stated that. Like, okay, how do you have that much time on
Exactly.
your hands?
You taking on other people's baggage. You
Right.
got your own stuff to sort out.
I'm gonna tell you one thing I just recently experienced. Someone came to me and told me, they came to me gossiping about someone's personal life, because I could relate to, and I don't know if it's true or not, but I'm gonna say this. It kind of related to me in a way. I just didn't feel like that was so. I had to shut it down real quick. Like, that's not funny. So,
Mhm.
and I took that to heart. It was like really personal to me, because
Yeah.
I might as well experience the same thing. I'm not sure if you've been in a situation like that where you have been like triggered by some of the stuff that people, not that you just shut it down, but you get so defensive, you get in defense mode and you're like, wait a minute, first of all, I mean, you start layering your paragraphs, like you're going to say
Yeah.
this. I don't know if you've been in a situation like that, but I have been in those where I've just been like, okay, but what's so funny about, I take real offense to that.
Yeah,
I
yeah,
don't know if
yeah.
you've experienced that before.
Don't don't nobody like being laughed at.
Mm-mm. Can gossip ever have a positive effect? And that's what I was asking in the beginning, because it's like
I
sometimes
mean,
warning before destruction, or
I was gonna say you could be technical about it. You could be technical about it and say yeah in a way if it helped.
give us an
You know what I'm saying?
example, Carisha. What I mean, can gossip ever have a positive?
I mean, let's say let's say you got these two friends, these two homegirls, that are friends, and then you have one of the friends that's just a friend of a friend of a friend or whatever, and they have a party or something, they're around each other, and a guy comes over and messing around with the other girl, and she whispering, oh, that's what's her name, man, or whatever the case may be. And then now the girl is aware and she can make her decision on if she gonna continue that, or if she gonna back off. So I mean, I guess it's ways that it can be positive. I mean, if it's informing somebody of, like you say, a warning before destruction.
Yeah, I've dealt with certain. I mean, I think it can be positive, Carisha. It just depends on what it is. Now, if it's something
Yeah, the
about,
situation.
oh, you heard about this, or um did you see how they was, how they came dressed up? Like, that's so petty. You know what I'm saying? But I don't know, if someone came to me and was like, hey, I can't tell you what to do. I'm just giving you, letting you know that I heard that this person right here, they, been, I don't know, accused of murder before. What I mean, I want somebody to tell me that,
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah, I want somebody
Yeah,
to let
yeah,
me know, because and I don't consider, okay. That just, again, it's like one of those warning before destruction type things. Like,
right,
and I'm
right.
gonna take, not all gossip is bad. I don't want to say that, but I do take heed. I believe there's warning before destruction. And I like when people can come to me in where in a way that it protects me. I think something
Yeah,
that would protect me or whatever. Okay, yeah, I like that. Carisha says she loves your example.
thank
Yay.
you.
Yeah, so it's just one of those things. Again, not all of it is bad. Not a lot of he say she say is bad. But the majority of it are assumptions. People, their personal opinions or their assumptions. And when you make an assumption out of, make all these assumptions, you become an ass. That's what makes you an ass, because it's like, okay, it didn't even hold any credibility or validity to it. And then, like, I hate when I used to, again, when I used to be out there and I would, oh, this is what I heard, or this is and I already sound really stupid by, okay, what I heard or what
Yeah,
someone said, or
yeah.
because, again, there's no credibility to it. But I think I had one more question, or something that I wanted to share with you all. Uh, okay. The plausibility. Does the information seem more likely than not? Can it be? Is that a possibility? Like, can that really be? Is that even feasible? Like, we have to question ourselves sometimes. Like, really? Okay, now you're over exaggerating. But what I'm not gonna do is sit there for 5 to 10 minutes and be just listening to a story and just be like, that's a waste of my time. You know what I'm
That's
saying?
why it
Because
goes back to earlier. You gotta
yeah,
use your head sometimes.
it's like, okay, I knew a long time ago that this was just did not sound right. But at what point do you stop it? Like, okay, that's enough. Okay, I've heard enough. Maybe you should find some other things to do, like blah 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 blah. But yeah, it brings again, it brings it back to stopping it right there when you already know. Like I just told you, I used to be like, oh, did you hear about? Oh, I heard that. Okay, we're talking about something you heard. That's just not credible enough for me. Um, that is some beneficial, informative gossip. Some beneficial,
I
informative
think she was talking about when you had mentioned about if
like
somebody
murder.
was had a murder charge. Yeah.
Well,
Yeah.
don't deal with them because
Yeah.
I heard that they was burning or something. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
Like
Yeah,
you
man.
got
Hey, I need to
now
know
that's
that. Yeah,
yeah,
I need to know that.
yeah.
Yes,
Tell me something,
yeah,
But
dude, I need to
I
know.
believe that some people, it depends on their level and the behavior and the mentality that they have and what their agenda is or what their motive is towards you, that they won't
Mm.
say a word. You get what I'm saying? And that's sad.
There you go. There you
Yeah.
go.
Can a chronic gossiper have an addiction to the drama that comes with engaging in gossip sessions? Yeah.
Of course. They be sitting back with their popcorn.
and
Of course.
their corona.
You hear me? Of
I'm telling
course. Yes.
they sit back
Yes.
and they wait for it. Like, okay, they even go into groups, like the little Facebook social media groups, like the T.
Yes. I was gonna
What
mention those. Yes. There you
yes.
go.
And they
There
be
you
like,
go.
"Ooh, what's going on?" I don't know if it's just, I think they just be bored. And again, I know I used to be that way and I used to be bored, but I guess because I have this going on, I work a full-time job. I'm doing contract work. Like I'm doing all of these different things. It's like I just don't have time anymore. And it's not healthy. It's so draining. It is.
Mm.
Oh my God.
Yeah.
It's so draining because okay, I don't want to keep okay, well, what's new? Okay, I don't know. I just don't have the time for it. But I did want to end by sharing. Let me see what it Carisha saying. Hold on, let me see what she said. Like on a serious tip, some need professional help to overcome it. Yes, most definitely
For
they
sure.
do. Baby, I had to go get some counseling myself. Okay, so the bottom line, if it doesn't come from the source, it has no validity to it. It holds no value at all. Most importantly, we have to remember that most hearsay, she say, he say, she say, that we experience is gossip. Okay. Most he say, she say has crossed over several ears and the story changes from each individual. All right. So
There
that
you
is
go.
my summary that I had for you all. And it's been a pleasure. Now, I would like you to have some closing words, Mark. It's just been a pleasure again. And I'm looking forward to networking with you. Also coming on your podcast. If you could
For
tell them a
sure.
little bit about your podcast as well, so we can go and make sure that they are following and engaging. And I'm looking forward to coming on. But the stage is yours.
Yes. Yes. My well, first to end on the last segment, I just want to say, like, people got to be able to stop being scared to have conversations. That means going to the source.
Right.
You know, having those conversations, those tough conversations, whether it's with your friends, your family, whoever it is. You
Mm-hmm.
can't be scared because you got to understand it's not going to always be perfect. So
Mm-hmm.
it's all right to be mad. It's all right to be whatever, but have those
Right.
conversations. But anyway, my podcast though it's on YouTube. It's called the Culture Shift Podcast. And we do a lot. I do a lot of stuff like this here, where we explore topics like that focus on like personal growth, shifts, mindset shifts. Excuse me, but just a lot of growth and it's a lot of stuff on there positive. That's all I try to put out. I do have like a little sports stuff, but that ain't whatever. But I just put something out on social media and relationships, how that affect on mental health, because I like what you did Wednesday. I watched it and that was dope.
Yes.
um
Thank you.
that was real dope, yeah. But y'all can follow me on Instagram and TikTok,
Mm-hmm.
Culture Shift HD.
Culture
And I
shift.
appreciate you for having me on here too. It was a real
Yes.
pleasure.
And Mark, if you don't mind, I would like to post I'm going to take the link from your page so that they can go and follow you. And I am going to post it to my page. You all, I just want to say, I just find it's been such a blessing because I've had people from all over the world that are reaching out to me. My little old podcast, honey. And when I tell you, I have gained not just guests to come on here, interviewees, but I am gaining friendships. I am gaining mentors. I am networking, and it's been just a pleasure because these are people that God has sent to me, and He knows who to send to you. He knows exactly
Yeah,
what will mix versus what won't mix. So I'm talking about overly excited about the journey that we are about to have. I cannot wait until all of us podcasters get together and we go ahead and just shift the whole atmosphere, the whole world. We can do it. There's power in numbers. So,
yeah, I agree.
I'm definitely looking forward to that. But yes, with the words of Mr. Mark, he calls himself Mark Juice, y'all. I don't want to give his government name, but y'all can see it
Oh
on.
no, that's fine. It's fine. It's
Yes,
cool. It's Mark Avers.
yes, it's on the flyer, and I do like to be formal, so that's why I put it on there. But I was like,
It's
okay,
all
when you
good.
come on, then they'll see, Mark
Yeah,
Juice. But yes, thank you so much, Mark. We are going to stay in contact,
for
and we
sure.
will. I will send you, or either you can send me an email. Let me know when it is that you would like for me to appear on the podcast, and I
Got
will
you.
be more than happy to do so.
For sure.
Okay.
I got
Do
you.
you have
I
anything
got you.
else you would like to say?
No, I appreciate you though, and and I wish you nothing but the best.
Thank you so much, Mark. And without further ado, we are going to go ahead and end this podcast live for tonight. I pray that all of you go about and be at peace. And remember, no gossiping. Go to the source, and I will be doing the same. All right. I love you all with the love
Happy
of
Memorial
God.
Day weekend.
Yes. Happy Memorial Day. And y'all have a blessed weekend. Bye, Mark. Oh, goodness.